Welcome back, everybody. So now let's go to item number 8. So it says here that the principal is not given neither the time as well, but the rest are given. Now, how do we solve for the principal? How do we solve for each? For the sake of the principal, that's very easy. Diba, remember, it says here, so number 28, it's 3.85% compounded quarterly. So when we say compounded quarterly, big sabihin, it's compounded, it's 4. Diba? And then, diba, remember, we can get the principal by subtracting the A minus the I. And that's 74,000 divided by 3,240. Again, doing this, so we have 74,000 minus 3,240. Doing so, diba, remember, this is 7 pattern. This is 8. This is 7. Last digit, 6. So, therefore, our A is supposed to be, ano yun? Our principal is supposed to be 7,760 pesos. That you see right here. So, yan. So, yun yung P plus I equals A. And you're supposed to get 70,760. Now, going back to the formula as follows. So, you know already the formula for how to solve for the answer. So, our formula is always P plus 1 plus the rate divided by C raised to the CT equals the future value. So, our principal is 70,760. Then, we have 1 plus the rate. Diba, remember what was our rate? Our rate was 0.0385. Diba? But it's compounded quarterly, so divide by 4. And then, for your information, we have 40. The T is unknown. Then, it's being raised. Then, we have 74,000 pesos. Diba? So, the first thing that we need to do is to, ano yung gawin namin sa una? Divide. So, we need to divide both sides by 70,760. Hence, doing that, so the zeros cancel, and you're supposed to get this answer. I think it's better we do it on a calculator to double check for the answer. Diba, remember, ito yung solution ko, diba? So, checking on with my solution sheet later na. So, diba, remember, this is the formula. So, we have 74,000 divided by 70,760. You're supposed to get 1.04578852 something. Or if you want to remain that as a fraction, you can do it this way. You can get, ano yun? 1,850 over 1,769. So, therefore, we have 1 plus ano yun? 0.0385 divided by 4 raised to the 40 power is equivalent to 1,850 over 1,769. Diba? So, yun po talaga yung nangyari namin na yun. So, that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. And then the next thing that we're gonna have to do is to simplify this formula. We're gonna have to simplify this one. The 1 plus 0.0385 divided by 4. And doing that with a calculator, diba, remember, we have this. So, diba, remember, the 3.85% divide by 100, so you can get this answer. And then, dividing it by 4, you should get this answer. Then, add 1, so that you can get 1.00965625. So, that's the value. So, therefore, our answer is 1.009625 raised to the 4 over t power, and it's equivalent to 1,850 over 1,769. Okay? Now, can you guess what happens next? Can you guess what happens next? Yes! So, now we have exponent as the problem. So, now what do? We take the log. Very good. So, taking the log, we can do it this way. Actually, there are two ways on how we can take the log. But for now, this is my method. Because, diba, remember, we know in exponential equations, we have this. Diba, remember, tandaan mo yung exponential equation? B raised to the x equals y is the same as log base b of y equals x. Tama? So, identifying what is b, we know the b is 1. So, we know the b is, so we have log base 1.009 625, diba? That is our base. And then the answer is 1,850 divided by 1,769. Diba? We take the log of that answer and then it's being raised given to the 40 power. So now all we have to do is to take the log of that number. So let's type that in our calculator. So going back to our calculator, do you still remember the log function? Nakita mo to yung log, that was my x, base x. Ibig sabihin, that can be any number you like. Then it's up to you to put out the number that you want. Like for now, we have 1.0099625. Diba? That's the base. And then we have 1,850 divided by 1,769. And we should get this answer. So the answer that we should get is 4.6739. 4.6739. So our answer is 4.673905,605 is equivalent to 40. Diba? So now the last step is to divide both sides by 4. Doing that will just give you t. So when we divide this by 4, we should get the answer of 1.16. Or you can round it up to 1.17 years. So therefore, the time is 1.17 years. 1.168. So it's supposed to be 1.168476402 years, diba? Pero this is the rounded version. Ito yung rounded. Now, what I want to show you here is a formula that I've done. So this is the one if you are to do the direct method, such that you take the log of that specific base and then you raise it and then yung nga of that base. Pero this is what I did in this situation. So looking at my solution sheet, ito yung ginawa ko. So 74,000 divided by 70,760 to give me this answer of 1,850 divided by 1,769. Diba? And that's what happened here. I divide by 4 so I can get the answer. And then we have 1.0, and then, diba remember this one? I simplify the number. And then I get, ano yun? 1.009625. Diba remember that's the answer that I got a while ago kanina, diba? And then what I did, diba remember I take the log on both sides. So if I take the log on both sides, I let the 40 slide and then take the log of both situations. Diba? And actually, I know naman, yung log of 1,850 divided by 1,769. Diba remember, if I were to do this, I'm supposed to get 1.0457888582. So, yun yung dapat yung sagot ko. Diba? And that's the answer. And then, diba remember, based on the answer that I get here, 40 times the log of 1.009625. And then I divide that just like that. So, doing that, so, diba remember, ito yung ginawa ko. So, I divide that by log of the answer that I got kanina. So, I divide that by log of the answer that I got kanina, which is 1 plus 0.0385 divided by 4. And we should get this answer. So that's the answer that we're supposed to get. But I don't think it's quite right. Teka, kasi remember that one, that is the future value. So, future value over principal. And that's why I did it this way. So, that's why I have this. Diba remember the log of 1.04, that is on the right, the future value divided by the principal. Whereas this one is the one I get from adding to get the time unit. Okay. And then from there, I just divide. Ganun pala. I just forgot pala to put the log. So dapat I should put there the log of that answer. So you have to take the log of both sides. So pala. So therefore it's supposed to be log of the principal, which is the log of 74,000 divided by 70760 divided by the log of the answer, which is here. So dapat to solve for the t, 1 plus 0.30385 divided by 4. Diba? And dapat yun yung sagot, 4.367. And then divide by 4 to get this answer. So yun nga, so either way you will still get this answer. So therefore to solve, so the shortcut for solve for the time is to always remember this. Take the log of both sides, take the log of the principal of the future value, divide by the present value, and then divide by the log of the answer that you get here, and then whatever answer you get, you will have to divide it by the compounding period. Yun lang. So that's how you do it. Diba? So now I get this one, and then I get this value. So I get it divided by 4, the 4.367. So tama, when I did that, I get 40. It's equivalent to 4.673905699203 divided by 4. And you're supposed to get 1.16, which is same as 1.17. So tama, so that's the answer. Okay? That's it. Next, for number 9. For number 9, this is the problem that I'm having in my situation. I have 620,000 pesos as the principal, 13% as the rate, and then it's compounded annually. That's the good news. So I don't have a problem. And our time is, we have a problem. The time that we're doing right now is from this date up to that date. It says here from June 30, 2018 to January 4, 2020. So now what we do about this particular type of situation. So here's what we're gonna do. First, remember this your time unit. Your time unit is from this date up to that date. And going back to simple interest, when you have a time unit like that starts from this specific date up to that date, all you have to do is to solve for the time interval. So to solve for the time interval, ito yung ginawa ko. So when I solve for the time interval, ito yung ginawa ko. When I solve for the time interval, I do E2 minus E1. Pero what you all this, if I want the exact interest, what I would rather do is this. Use the timeline to help me out. So therefore, with the use of my calculator, we start from June 30, 2018, which is the first day. And then July consists of 30 days, 31 days. Then this is August. And then September, October, November, December. So that's my formula. So that's within 2018. Diba? And then 2019 plus 365 days. And then January 4, 2020 plus 4. So dapat I'm supposed to have 554 days. So that is the exact interest. So the exact is 554 days. Diba? Pero, diba remember, you're gonna have to divide that by 365. Kasi diba remember, you need to divide that by 365 because you're going to convert your time unit into years. Diba you remember, we have 1 year is equivalent to 365 days. Pero, yung 544 days, that is when you divide. So that's why you get something like this. So dividing that by 365, you should get this answer of 1.51 something. And then applying the formula, dapat you should do something like this. So to apply the method of solving for compound interest, diba remember, we have the principal of, 620,000 pesos and then 13%. So therefore, this is the formula. So therefore, we start off with 0.13 divided by the compounding period, which is annually. So therefore, we don't need to do that na. We can just do 1.13. Diba? Because it's 13%, diba? So we can do that first. And then we raise that to the what's that power again? To the because we're doing it in days, so therefore we have to do our exponent in days. Diba? So time conversion, we have 554 as the numerator because it's 554 days. And then on the denominator we have 365 because we're going to convert that. And you're supposed to get 1.20 something. That is what you're going to do. And then you multiply it by the principal, which is 620,000 pesos. Hence, your future value in exact interest is supposed to be, your future value, FA, is supposed to be 746,370.71 pesos in exact interest. Okay? That is the value that you get in exact interest. Yun ang makukuha mo kapag exact yung interest mo. Pero ang ginawa ko, I did it via ordinary interest. To see what I mean, ito yung ginawa ko sa ordinary. So doing the ordinary interest, the first thing that I did was, I computed for the time interval. So computed for the time interval, I did it like this. So 2021 and 4, and then 4 minus 30 cannot be. So you have to borrow from December to make it 35. And then borrow 1 year. So 35 minus 30 equals 5. And then 12 minus 66. 29 minus 2018 is ano yun? 1 year. And then I get to convert. 1 year is worth 360 days. So therefore, it's 360 days automatic na yan. And then, di ba remember, the second one is this. We have 6 months. So 6 months, one month is worth 30 days. 6 months, it's 180 days. And then plus 5 days. But don't forget, we still need to include 1. So therefore, when we add this up all together, 360 plus 180, we should get, ano yun? We should get 450 days. We should get 540 days. Pero plus 5 days, that's supposed to be, ano yun? That's supposed to be 545 days. Pero, we still need to add 1 because of the, ano yun? Pero I think that's the ordinary amount, the ordinary days. So that's why we leave it 45 days na lang. So yan, and then from there, so therefore in exact interest, how many days were we supposed to get? 554. Pero kapag ordinary interest, we're supposed to get 565. 500, ano yun? 545. Diba? And then 545, because we're gonna convert that into days in ordinary interest, so therefore we're gonna have to divide that by 360 days. And that's why we're supposed to come up with 109 divided by 72 years. And if I were to do this on calculator, 545 divided by 360, we should get this answer of 109 divided by 72. And then we are supposed to do this. Applying the formula, 0.13 raised to the, what's that power? 109 divided by 72. And you should get this answer, same pa rin. Multiplying that by your principal, which is, what's that principal again? 620,000. Tama, you're supposed to get the same future value. Let's see we get that. Yes, so ganito yun. And then, ang ginawa ko dito ay ganyan. So, I convert that into, ano yun? Ayan, so that's 1/2 a year. And dapat that's supposed to be 360 days. Plus 5 days, and then we still have 180. So, tama, di ba? So, yan. So, that's in months. 1 year's worth 12 months, but 6 months, it's 1/2 a year. So, dapat 1/2 a year, and then plus 172. Kaya pala, that's what I've done here. So, yung ginawa ko dito, I just, ano yun, add everything. From 1 year, I just have 1 year, and then plus 1/2 a year. And then, I have 1/72 days. Years. So that's what I did. Then I applied the, ano yun, the fraction. So, dapat I'm supposed to have 1 and 37 over 72 days. So, yun po talaga yung sagot. And then, doing that, we're supposed to get this answer. Tama, we're supposed to get 109 over 72. So, either way, we still get the answer. And then now, we're gonna have to apply the formula. So, doing that, remember that's the answer that we got. And then, we raise that to the, ano yun, we get 1.13, raise to the 109 divided by 72 power. And then, we should get, ano yun, 1.203247217. And then, multiplied by the principal to get the amount of 746,000 and 13 pesos. And rounded off, we get 27 cents. And then to solve for the interest, future value minus the principal. So, getting your future value here minus 62,000, 620,000, you get the interest of 126,013 pesos. And that's it. So, that's item number 9. Last but not least, we're gonna go to item number 10. Last na to para magpahinga na tayo. So, on item number 10, we have the principal of 700,000 pesos. The rate is unknown. The time period, the compounding period is semi-annually. O yan, this one in number 10, it's the same as number 9. The time is from this date up to that date. Pero it's semi-annually. There's a compounding period. Moreover, the interest is given, pero it specifies that it is E sub I. Ibig sabihin, the interest is an exact amount. So therefore, what we do now, don't worry, the first thing that we're going to have to do is to solve for the amount. So we need to solve for the amount by doing P plus I equals A. And that is the formula which we're going to do right now. So the formula is just easy. You just do 7,700 plus 7,070. And you get 707,070 pesos. Or the pattern of 707070. Tama? And that is your amount. Now, our goal is to solve for the number of days. Kasi what says here, the number of days is in exact amount. We are gonna do exact interest. Kasi nga, ang 7,070 pesos, this is the value of interest amount in exact amount. So therefore, the thing that we're going to do is to get the exact interest. So therefore, from August 14, 2017 to March 20, 2021, we're gonna have to compute for the number of days in exact interest. So, do you remember August 14, 2017? You know August 14 is my dad's birthday. Kaya that's the reason why I made the date like that, because that's dedicated to my dad. And it's my dad's birthday. So, tandaan mo, every August 14, birthday ng tatay ko. Joke lang ha, charot. Anyway, so we have, do you remember August? So, 31 minus 14. And that'll give you 17. Pero plus 1 to give you 18. Diba? 18. And then, plus September, October, November, December to complete the 2018. Tama? That's 2017 pala. That's 2017. Diba ito yung August, diba? Ito yung September. Ito yung October, November, December. Tapos, 2018, that is 365. Then, plus another 365 again for 2019. And then, 366 for 2020. Tapos, kailan stop? March 10, 2021. Diba? So, March 10, 2021 is plus January, February 28, 2021, 28 days. And then plus, kailan? 10. So, plus 10. So, let's double check. Timeline. Ito yung August, September, October, November, December ng 2017. Yung 365 na yan, that is for 2018, 2019, and then 2020. Dahil ang 2020 may leap year. Tapos January 2021, and then we have February 2021, plus 28 plus 10, you should get 1,305 days. So therefore, that is the number of days. 1,305. Pero we need to divide that by 365 because that is the exact amount. So ganito na lang yung formula namin. So di ba remember that is 1,305. Tandaan mo yung formula na yan, 1,305. And then our goal here is to solve for the interest rate. So let's write down the formula para hindi tayo mahirapan. So let me write it down for you here. Please wait a moment. Ayan. So the formula is still the same as follows. So we still have the same formula. We have P plus 1 plus R divided by C raised to the CT power equals future value. Diba? So let me write here our value. So our principal here is 700,000 pesos. Diba? And then 1 plus, we do not know what the R is. Pero the compounding period is semi-annually. Because it's semi-annually, therefore we're gonna have to divide that by 2. Diba? Divide by 2 and then raise that with 2 times the what power. And diba remember, tandaan mo yung formula, that is 2 times, ano yun? What do you call that? 1,305 divided by 365 days. Diba? That is the power that we're raising at. So if you were to convert that, 1,305 divided by 2, rewriting this, we get and then we have the future value of 707,070 pesos. Diba? So let's rewrite this and make that into ano yun? 27,010. So diba remember 1,305 divided by 2, this is supposed to be 10, 10, 27. So tama, that's supposed to be 700,000 pesos na lang. Plus 1 plus the R divided by 2 raised to 2,710 divided by 365 is equivalent to 707,070 pesos. Now, actually, what we can rather do is that we could rather simplify the fraction. So we can simplify the 2,710, dividing it by 5. So we need to divide both sides by 5. And when we do that, ganito yung formula. So getting a sheet of scratch paper, we have 25, 21, 4, 20, 10, 542. So in the numerator, we have 542. And then 365 divided by 5, that's supposed to be 73. Tama? To be honest, I remember that multiplication table talaga. So therefore, rewriting the formula, we should get 700,000 plus 1 raised to the R divided by 2 raised to the 542 over 70 power is equivalent to 707.70. Now, we're back. Now, we can now solve for the rate. So how do you solve for the rate? Diba, remember what's the first step? The first step is to simply divide. Kasi remember, the first thing that you're going to do is to just, add everything. First, you divide in the parentheses, and then you add, and then you raise it to that power, and then you, what do you call this? You divide. Diba? And then you multiply. So therefore, we have to divide both sides of the equation by 700,000. Diba? Let's do it on a calculator para hindi kayo mahirapan. So again, getting your calculator, you should have something like this. So we have divide by 700,000. Diba? And you should get 10,101 over 10,000. So therefore, on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, you have 1 plus R divided by 2 raised to the 542 over 73 power is equivalent to 110,001 over 10,000. Diba? Now, what's the next step? To take the root. So, we take the root of that power. So, taking the root of, the root. So, therefore, it's the 542 over 73 power of, 10,101 over 10,000. If in case you can't put this in your calculator, ganito yung mangyayari. So, therefore, you're gonna have to, divide the fraction. Diba, remember that is a fraction and exponent. So, dapat it should be 1 over, diba, remember applying the laws of exponents. 1 over 542 over 73. Diba, remember that is a fraction. So, we have to divide. So, 1 over 1 divided by 542 over 73. Then, you can reciprocate it, making it like this. Converting it to 73 over 542. So, therefore, that's what you're going to do. If in case lang talaga, you can't raise it to that power. So, you're gonna have to divide. So, yun po talaga yung mangyari. Okay? So, therefore, we have this one. Diba, remember this is the fraction that we did, diba? So, you have this answer here, divided by 10,000, and then it's being raised to the, so you're gonna have to raise that to 73 over 542 power. So, raising that exponent to 73 over 542. What answer did we get? We get 1.001. We get 1.001 354,425. Is that right? Yes. Now let's try it with the other way. So diba remember, let's say for example, kung mag-root ka, if you're going to use the root, diba yung nakita mo may may root na n. So doing that, you're supposed to do this. And then you put the fraction of 542 over 73. And then in the inside, you have this value. Do you think you still get the same answer? Do they match? If they do match, you are correct. Kaya thank the Lord we got the answer right. Now the last step is, what do we do? Actually, what we can rather do, we can still imply rational equations. So if I were to do rational equations, our LCD is 2. So multiply everything by 2. We multiply everything by 2. The 2 cancels here, and then the 2 still stays. So therefore, we have 2 plus r equals, then do you remember this answer here, you're going to have to multiply it by 2. So therefore, you're going to have to get your answer here, multiply that by 2. And you're supposed to get 2.00 something. So 2.002708851. Subtract it by 2, you get r as 0.002708885. Yan. So let's subtract. Minus 2. Tama. And then you multiply it by 100 because we're looking for rate. So multiply that 100. And tama. The rate was supposed to... Teka lamang nga. That was not said in my solution sheet. I don't know what happened. Kasi hindi ba remember, sabi ko dito, I know naman dapat that was supposed to be the right answer. Tama yung hula ko. I was supposed to get 3 point... Tama. That was supposed to be the answer. So, 1,305. That's supposed to be, ano yun? Kasi nga, di ba remember, I raised that to the 2 power. Kaya pala, that's the reason why I get that answer. Rinaise ko do by the power of 2. And when I do that, I was supposed to get this answer. So, tama nga, I got that answer of 1,305 divided by, 365. So I did it, I raised it to the 2 power. So, I multiplied that by 2. I raised everything. And then dapat, we divide by 5. So, dapat we're supposed to get 251. Divide by 73. And that's supposed to be approximately 3.6 years. So, if I were to do this on the calculator, divide maybe 1,305, divide by 365, or pwede man ganon, you're supposed to get 261 over 73. Then, your answer being multiplied by 2, tama, we're supposed to get this answer. Kaya naman, that's why I got it wrong. Kasi nga, I multiplied it by 2. Minultiply ko by 2. And then, forgot about ano yun. Yeah, kasi nga, Choris, this could be a bit tough. Kasi nga, ang ginawa ko, I multiplied by 2. Pero it's just that I forgot that I still have a fraction there. And because it was a really big number, so that's why nga, I forgot to simplify it. So, dapat, ang ginawa ko, dapat I should simplify the number first. And I think maybe because fraction was too complicated, so that's why we better use decimal na lang. So, using decimal, we get 7.15. Or to make life easier, I just made it lang 2. So, I just made it lang the number 2. 7.2. So, therefore, I applied the formula as this. So, 1, the principal of 700,000, 1 plus the r raised to the 2 divided by 2 raised to the 7 over 2 power. Yung nga, di ba, remember that's the answer I'm supposed to get. Siguro I'll show it to you na lang para mabilis tayo. And then we cross out 1, 0. And pagkatapos yan, I was able to cross out 1, 0. And dapat, di ba, remember, we're supposed to come up with this answer. Wait lang I think it's right here pala. So yan, dapat we're supposed to take the root. So therefore, this is the answer. And dapat, gets ko na. Dapat I should divide that by 0.02. And dapat we're supposed to get this answer, di ba? So we get 1.001. And then we divide, and then we raise that to the 7.2 power. Tama ba? Kasi po, diba, remember that is, ano yun, 3.6. Diba, remember you got 3.6 kanina, diba? Nasaan po yung 3.6? That's 3.6 years that we got kanina. Yung 3.6 years. Tapos, yung 3.6 years, I have to divide it by the 7.2 power. So, therefore, this is the answer that I'm supposed to get. So, 7.2 root of this answer divided by 10,000, which will give me this answer of 1.001936 something. And then, you can apply rational equations. So, when you apply rational equations, dapat it's 1 plus r divided by 2 is equivalent to 1.001396716. Multiplying everything by 2, this thing cancels. So, therefore, we have 2 plus r is equivalent to, we multiply this by 2, and we should get 2.002793433. Subtracting both sides by 2, therefore, r is equivalent to 0.002793433. Then, shifting the decimal place, so tama, we're supposed to get 0.28%. So, tama, that's supposed to be our interest rate. So, our interest rate is supposed to be 0.28%. Now, to double check using the calculator, di ba, remember this is what we're gonna do, di ba? So, di ba, remember we have 0.028. Tama. Kasi di ba, remember, I shift the decimal place here. So, yan. So, 0.0028. It's 2 zeros pala. Divide by the rate, the compounding period, which is 2. Since it's semi-annually. Diba? And we're supposed to get this answer. Add 1, and we're supposed to get 1.014. Then, we raise that to the 7.2 power. Raise that to the 7.2 power so that we can get this 1.110. Then, multiply that by our principal, which is 700,000 pesos. So, therefore, wow! It's 770,000 pesos as the final amount, which is so large. Ang laki naman yan. Pero di bale, I think that's how we get the answer because that's not really how accurate it can be. Kaya don't always trust the rounding off criteria because most of the time when you round it off, you may not seem to get an accurate answer. And yeah, that's it, guys.